Hi everybody. I have a couple of things to show you. One of them is a piece that came out of the kiln a couple of days ago. It's a trinket keeper, and I formed a little piece on the top that I tried to make look like a piece of turquoise stone. And it came out pretty good looking. In fact, I think it's kind of cool looking enough. I might put it in the Venice art show next week. We'll see. Okay, don't get dizzy. I'm going to stand up. This is interesting because it's a piece of Little Loafer's clay, and I put chung red and then a coat of clear. Just interesting how well it works with that clear over it. And this is what it does on the Little Loafer's white clay. I had faceted this. That's what those lines are. It broke along the facets. I like it. But what this video is really about is the glazing I did this morning. So this is just the glazing before. Get the camera where I want it. Okay. This little bottle is on Little Loafer's clay, the white clay, and I dipped it entirely in Shino. And then I dipped it about 3/4 of the way down in Shino a second time. These two pieces are both white Little Loafer's clay. In both cases, I dipped them in umber float completely inside and out, and then dip them in cream. As you can see, one of them just a little over half and the other at about half. All of these are spring green over Shino, and what I do to make this work is I, of course, wax the foot like you would any foot. I dip it in Shino, and then wipe the Shino off where it was waxed, and then I re-wax it a good 1.5 inches up on the Shino. And then I dip it into the spring green, so that I've got a good 1.5 inch wiggle room for the spring green over the Shino. These pots are all poppies. They're really pretty time-consuming because I have to sketch the flower on, and then I do a little undercoat with iron red, and then go back and do my really red, and then I go back and do the green, and then the black, and then the white. Then I have to wax all the flowers and buds before I dip the whole piece into fog. So it's multiple steps, and if I'm going to do poppies, I generally do a number of them at once. And I needed some poppies for the top shelf for the opening at Nokomis Grove. I would say I'm going to charge a good 20% more for anything with a poppy on it than my other wares, just because it's so labor intense. And then I have these 3 pieces that stack. They nestle into each other very nicely. No handles, just sort of a V-shape, small, medium, and large stacking batter bowl set. I've got to come up with a better name than that. But the colors I used were Shino, And I did the same thing that I did with the spring green. After I wiped the Shino off the bottom of the piece, then I re-waxed a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches up, and then dipped it in the cream. And this little guy is an experiment. The green that I use on my poppies is one of those crackle, crawling glazes. So I made a little design in 2 places, 2 sides, on the outside of this little vase, and then coated the entire thing in fog, because I want to see what the crackle does underneath another color. So that's really well, that's not the only experiment, that's the big experiment. I've never done cream over umber float before, and that's what's on those 2 pots down there. Ooh, blurry. Okay, so I think I have enough for a full kiln load. If I don't, I might just, glaze a couple more experiments to fill it up. Also, I made 2 pieces with little loafers yesterday, and I made them specifically for my next barrel firing. In other words, I didn't just take a pot that I made and put some Terra Siglata on it and thought, oh gee, that'd be good in a barrel. I actually made them thinking, okay, these are going to be barrel fired. So I took a rib and I smoothed them down when they were wet. And then when I put on the Terra Siglata and polished it, they polished up much better than the ones did before. It's just these 2, not that ball in the background. This one, see that shine? And this one. They're both destined to be barrel fired. So right now they're leather hard with the Terra Sig on them, and hopefully soon they'll be bone dry. Then I'll bisque fire them to 06, and then they'll go into the barrel. So I've been a busy girl. I'll get these fired up today, and maybe I'll have a kiln opening by tomorrow late afternoon. That would be Thursday late afternoon. Thanks for watching.